Welcome back, everybody. Holiday Doc here with a little 2v2 game battles action. And a buddy of mine, the dentist, with his amazing 1.4 million GB rank, invited me to his Dubs teams. He wanted to get a little action going, and I said, "Hey, yeah, let's do it up." Obviously, the team's not doing anything since they all quit, but it's all good. We got some 2v2 games going on, and I got something special for you. A new team that I'm going to be joining. It's going to be some good stuff. So, let's talk strats. Right off the start, Dennis and myself run to A, get A, run to C, and get C. Now, I realize that it's a lot. It's like launch is the biggest ring around the rosy game you're ever going to run into, and it starts off not so great. But Dennis and myself really worked off each other's strengths. And I was thoroughly impressed with his ability. And we were playing some pretty decent guys, like Deoxy and this other guy, I forget his name, like A40s or whatever. I don't know where I've seen them before, but they're not randoms, and they're definitely got some gun skills. So this is actually an interesting match. So we're already losing 14-24. The biggest thing in 2v2 is obviously to keep your composure, because your biggest thing is to worry about the gunfight you're in. Try not to worry about anything else. Just win the fight you're in, and surprisingly enough, it'll work out for you. Like right there, the Deoxy came and he stunned us, but he just blindly ran around the corner and tried to hip fire us both, and it's definitely not the way he should have gone. So once Dennis went down on A, we're losing C. I'm set up, and I'm kind of trying to counter their initial nade throws, which I did right there. I knew he was going to have to come down and throw a nade to get to me in time to stop the capture on B, so I set up in a way that I knew I could counter that nade throw off the start. And, here we're just trying to control middle, get a feel for where they're going off spawn, and really make sure that our callouts are on par. So, as I seen that they took C, I gotta expect that they're gonna come over the hump. So I call it out to Dennis. I'm not gonna chase. He gets the kill, and then gets taken out. So I know that guy's over at is A. So I'm gonna counter A by grabbing C. Maybe let him hesitate on grabbing A, and hopefully have enough time to grab C myself. And honestly, the C spawn trap on this map is a little bit dangerous. For doubles, it's a little bit more difficult to get it on lock, to actually get that spawn trap. But if you're in it, it's rough to get out. And we do try to go for the triple cap over and over, and I really think that's an important thing to do on doubles, because you can really take control of the map by playing a really strong middle, and just kind of going over and countering every time they go to try to cap a flag. You just make sure you got at least one stun, you save a stun, you save a nade, and you should be good. So I'm playing off them not using Ninja Pro, and some teams and some players think that it doesn't really make a difference on the sound levels, but when you have a really high quality headset, it's like Sasquatch running around, and you can hear them from a mile away. And this is that C trap I was kind of talking about, as they both kind of spawned there. Really didn't set up in a defensive position and allowed me just to kind of run up on a head glitch, that yellow piper I just passed, and just come across and take them both out. Obviously, your first perk is going to be a personal preference. Dennis is sometimes running lightweight just for a quicker movement back and forth, whereas I was kind of being the juggernaut, the nade sucker. Get those sponge markers, huh? So I was going to run some flak jacket. This isn't MLG settings by any means, and so not really worried about that. Teams are all going to be using flak jacket if you're not playing an MLG variant, so I'm going to definitely have to work on getting Flak Jacket Pro. I don't know if it's even beneficial. I bought it right before this match. It's the first time I've ever used it. It's kind of funny. So, winning 99-58. This is the second half. First half was a lot closer, but it was a little bit more boring. This one, there's a lot more movement around the map, so I figured I'd show you this one. But playing two halves of domination, for the smarter player, it's going to allow you to really see what their strategies are. And the first map's going to be a little bit more difficult. Second half, if you can take advantage of their movement or their popular movements and see what they're using as equipment, you should be able to counter it really well. And for instance, I threw on Flak Jacket because I seen they were using frags. So, Semtex is pretty easy to get away from anyways, but frags, have a much higher explosive range, and you need to be able to kind of suck up some damage if you're holding the flag down by yourself. So we really wanted to try and work on, obviously one-man flag caps. So I was able to, throw on a class that was appropriate for doing that, which is, the Flak Jacket, the sleight of hand, and right here I thought he was dead. I stopped shooting. The Flak Jacket Ninja Pro. If you're any team, no matter what you're doing, you need to be running Ninja Pro. You may not think it makes a difference, and you may not think you hear it all that much, but trust me, it is the world of a difference between, a 10 foot to 15 foot to even 20 foot range on sound levels. So, when you're trying to cap C, don't hide in the corner. One thing I'm going to offer you guys some advice on, if you're grabbing a flag cap, try to stay in a position that allows you to see people creeping around. They left it wide open on C where I could come up to that yellow pipe and just kind of swing around and shoot. They should have been over to the left a little bit more and look down sight or look down range at least to pick up any kills headed towards that way. It might leave you a little bit more open to frags or nades even, but you're going to be in a much better position to counter any sort of runner towards you or anything like that. And, I'm going for B flag, getting greedy, I know, but for doubles, I think it's a valuable strategy. I really do. When you get 3 flag caps, not only are you causing a mass frustration for the other team, they're panicking, they're getting tunnel vision, they just run towards flags instead of, appropriately go for them. And it allows you to play a smart 2-man team because, you can set one guy over in the mid and you can float a lot easier with 3 flag caps than you can with 2. With 2 flag caps, it leaves the other team wide open to kind of choose where they're going to go. And you don't really know what position they're going to take. But with 3 flag caps, that blinky light's going to come on and it's like Christmas. You got to head towards it. So, not too much else to say. Just thanks to Dennis for, hooking me up with an invite to a Dubs team, and hopefully we'll get some more good footage. I think he's going to post some on his channel as well, and I'll post another round of this as later on today as well. So thanks for checking out the video. I'm Holiday Doc, and I'm out.